Sometimes tedious shit be a lot. All right, I'm on it. Yo, and you know what it be too? It's like we both be out. I'm alive, by the way. We both be working and shit, and yeah, crazy. All right, big head don't care. We lit. I'm hanging up the phone. All right, how's we doing tonight? Let me see if I can pull up. All right, we on your Instagram. Let me see. Oh no, oh, I did that already. Oh shit, excuse me. Damn, that felt amazing, that yawn. I just realized that we're live and I just did that straight into the phone. This is going to be interesting, interesting. I don't know why your live don't pop up on my phone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it don't pop up like, hey, look at this live. How are you on the full Wednesday check-in?
I'm still struggling with my technical difficulties, so I'm a little salty right now.
I understand. I feel the same way.
And I do not understand why it does this.
All right. I did my sharing on Instagram. What up, everybody? We live every Wednesday. I told you we live. Oh my god. I'm on the wrong app. That's how you know I'm tired. I'm supposed to be on Facebook sharing this shit.
I
I
can't.
am definitely on another one. All right. So let me see what it is we got going on. Oh, this is the wrong. Click on the wrong thing. Oh, it says that I'm live. Ooh, live. All right, let me share this video. This is something for the radio. Boom. Mm, 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 mm.
What up, Mike?
It's crazy how on there's like a 7 second delay on Facebook,
That's it. Be waiting for IG.
more or less. 6.5 seconds. How about that? And we're gonna share some groups. We'll share here. We're gonna 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 share here. I think that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom, 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 boom. 7, 8. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm in so many Facebook groups, and all these shits be dead. Oh, wasn't that an error? Boy, where you at? Well,
Trying to
anyway,
fix my shit, yo.
well, I can hear you. How does it sound?
Yeah, I can barely hear you though.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm in a black atheist nerd group. Yo, that's so crazy. What up, y'all? Listen, tonight we are talking about if too many baby mamas and too baby many baby daddies is a thing. You changed the color in the thing?
Nope. No, I ain't changing anything.
How the fuck is it red? That's wild. All right. So actually, I kind of want to start with this video you sent me already. I had some good content for last night. It was really dope. What is this? This YouTube video. Shit. I added something to here, didn't I? For tonight. Alright, so I'm gonna start off with that video you sent me. With the 6 kids by multiple baby daddies. The video is a couple of minutes long. But I do want to hear. You know what? I'm gonna do that one last. I'm gonna start off with the one you sent me on TikTok, cause I feel like that's how we're gonna get into this. So yes, tonight we're talking about too many baby daddies or too many baby mamas is a red flag. And we're gonna start off with a third party opinion. If I can find my profile. How do we, man? What the fuck? Yeah, I don't care about any of that. Got it. Alright, now I know I couldn't find anything. Boy, what are we doing, bro? Oh, here we go. Collection.
I'm struggling right now.
And we always. Alright. So while we trying to figure that out, we're going to ask everybody, share this video. If you haven't shared it with your friends yet, put it in their inbox. Looking on Facebook. Yeah, right now we lit. So share this video. I'm gonna play something really quick, and I want everybody to give their 2 cents on this. Tell me what you think, because again, today we are talking about I gotta stop this. Today we're talking about is having multiple kids with multiple people a red flag, and yeah, what the hell just happened?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, what happened? So yeah, I want we talking about who got if it's a red flag to have multiple kids with multiple people. So I'm gonna share this video really quick, and I want to get the video to kind of get somebody else's perspective on that, so we could come back and chop this up real quick. And where is it? This is the wrong fucking tab. What is it doing, bro? Oh, I found it. Share.
Are multiple BDs and BMs a red flag?
For me, I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm gonna say no, only because the fact is this: we're all grown, right? We're grown. I'm 40, right? And being realistic, you didn't have multiple guys before, like, and you didn't have multiple serious relationships.
What
that
about
you
multiple
told
children?
me.
Let me
But you didn't
slide
have
in on
multiple
this
children,
one.
though.
Let me slide in on this one. If you consecutively for 8 kids thought it was the one,
Got the baseball.
I just want to say, listen, I just want to say
That's a little different.
Let me tell you why I say that's a problem. Because now
that's not too far.
No, she's talking about 8 different people.
8 different
though.
babies. Yeah,
that's
that speaks of lack of discernment to me.
Discipline.
absolutely.
Lack of discernment, because like how 8 different times you keep this
Look.
one, it tells me somewhere down the line you're not taking time in between
To really
to
get to know
process,
these people.
and you're going so far in that you have an unprotected sex and running the risk of creating yet another life, and you already got 7 that you could have learned from.
All right, so boom. When I seen that video, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
make this into a big thing, but when I seen that video, you know, the first thing that I said was
What?
how a lot of men justify demeaning a woman's body count by the same exact definition. You don't have discernment. You just let anybody up in there, you a hoe. Like it's the same. It's the same thing. It's just literally just the same reasons that I've heard of men, um, like shame a woman for how many men she's had sex with, or how many people she's had sex with. It's the same thing. And I found that very interesting that she said that because I feel like if I said that as a counter argument, I would have caused a big rift on that program, which would have probably been my MO anyway. But you know. But anyway, what did you think about what she said?
I think, yeah, it could speak to your discernment, but also I think it's circumstantial. Like if you have like multiple kids, but like the guy said, he's 40, but your kids are now 18, or you know what I mean? And you haven't had another child in 6 years or something, like,
Right.
you know what I mean? I wouldn't say that's a necessarily a true uh definition of character per se. So I think it becomes a red flag when you start hitting multiple markers.
Why? Well, that's what we're talking about. Multiple children with multiple people. Is that a red flag?
Multiple children with multiple people isn't a red flag on its own. I said multiple markers, like there has to be other, I think there's other things around it that make it problematic.
Got you. Got you. So, um, the first question that we had was why do people have multiple babies with multiple people? And I wrote because they can. Some people, mostly men, unfortunately, are reckless. Right? Women gonna she gonna be pregnant one time at a time. She can have more than one kid at a time, but she's gonna be pregnant once, right? Um, well, actually, I just found out that's not true. I actually discovered something that a woman had a baby and found out she was 4 months pregnant when she had the baby. That was wild. What? Yo. So anyway, science. Am I right? So
Indeed.
yes. Most men, you know, are like reckless, living life, having babies, all crazy. Um, but I feel like some people just live their life, like the guy was trying to allude to in that video. A lot of people just listen. My first two kids came at the opposite ends of two almost 4 year relationships. So for 8 years, I was in two different relationships and had kids 7 years apart. You know what I mean? And you know what? At that time in my life, funny enough, when I was like 28 years old, I didn't think that a woman would want me because I had two kids and two baby mamas.
Uh-huh.
You add one more baby mama and two more kids later, I still think I'm the shit. But then that was an insecurity of mine. For real, it was. I was like, ain't no girl gonna want me. I got two kids, two baby mamas. And you know, so things like that happen. People break up. You know, I've dated women who were in like you know, their kids are maybe 5-6 years apart, like mine, 7 years apart, and they were in opposite. They was in two different relationships. They lived with both niggas. I don't think that's a like they were in love. What am I supposed to say? They weren't supposed to have the kids. That kid was made in love. They may not like each other now, but that kid was made in love at the moment. And I think that's a testament to the relationship. Also, I would say this: when the girl move in with a nigga, I give you about 2-3 years tops for it's happening. Like it's going to happen.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily, but about 88% of the time in my experience. Um, yeah, so I'm like, so one of the things that I wrote down is that some people come with children, some people come with baggage and trauma, right? So you may have some people who have kids from their relationship, but that's all they have from that relationship. You get along with your baby daddy or their baby mama, You know what I mean? They do good for the kid is doing good, all that other shit. And it's like, you mad because you got a couple kids from a couple different dudes? Who gives a fuck? She's a well put together woman. She own her own crib. She doing her thing. Why do you care about that? You know what I'm saying? But you got the woman who ain't got no kids. She giving you hell, boy. Like, what are we choosing here? I don't know. That's my take on it. Well, when we have this conversation, because it's funny. I seen a video once, and they was talking about this man, right? He had a couple of baby mothers, a couple of kids. Oh, it was Cam Newton, and that's the video we should have found. And he was talking about, I take care of all my kids. All their mothers got houses. Of course, he's in a financial situation where he can do that. But here's the thing: in response, the woman that he was interviewing was like, "Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. Them kids are still growing up in broken homes."
Yeah.
And I was like, So the only way a home cannot be broken is if both parents live in the home all the time together. I don't know if I agree with that 100%. Depending on the family dynamic, because technically, my uncles didn't grow up in a broken home because my grandmother and my grandfather lived together until my grandfather passed, and when he was 93 years old, right? With that being said, though, I technically grew up in a broken home because my mom and dad wasn't together. But simultaneously, I live with my grandmother and my grandfather. You know what I mean? So isn't that like subjective almost?
It is very much so.
I feel like
if you have a strong community, then I would think that the effects would not be as hard. Actually, I'm sure of it.
We both know there's nothing like your mom and your dad, right? It's just different. But remember we did a show and you were a guest on the show. This is years ago. It's like 5 years ago. And when the guy was like, "Now I was raised by my mom and my dad, but my dad was such a bad father. I almost wish he wasn't in the house."
I do remember that.
So I feel like sometimes women are single moms, or because the situation just wasn't advantageous anymore. It's just, I can't do this with this nigga. You know what I mean? Sometimes they have babies by guys who the only way they'll take care of that baby is if they're together. The only way I'm taking care of this baby is if you my girlfriend. Other than that, I ain't got nothing to do with y'all niggas. I see that happen now. And I'm just like, that's crazy. So speaking of that, good transition. Is there a different criteria for men and women? Because as I was just saying, a lot of single women, blah, 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 there's single women with kids. Because not every mother that's single is a single mother. All right, let's start there, motherfucker. Because there's a lot of women out here who be claiming to be single mothers. They're just single and they're a mom, but their dad, the dad of their kid, the father of their child, is in their life all the time. They do nothing, 100%, unless they choose to, right? But I feel like there is a area, and I want your opinion on this, because I was a single dad for many, 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 many years. I cannot be considered a single dad anymore because, I'm with my kids maybe 50% of the time, in the high 40s, which wasn't my choice, by the way, if anybody wanted to know, because I was a single dad for about 4 or 5 years. It was just me and the kids. And it's crazy that I got praised for that. Like, like, oh my God, you're a single dad, you're doing this, you're doing that. And I'm just like, I'm just taking care of my children. Like, I never wanted a pat on the back for doing something that I'm supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So I always looked at it like, that's kind of whack, because my mother was a single mother. Nobody was like, oh my God, you're doing your thing, you're a single mom. It's like, there's a double standard because of two things. One, and I wrote here, most women, of the single parents, the vast majority of them are women. So that means how I perceive you is different, because you got to move different because you got kids.
Percent, like 87% or something like
that. Got to be something crazy like that. So you're going to move different because you got kids. Your perspective is going to be different because you got kids. How you interact with people is going to be different because you have kids. Your availability and your openness is going to be different because you have kids. Whereas you see somebody who's a single dad, not a single dad, but a guy who has several or maybe like 3 kids, 2 baby mamas, or something like that, you automatically assume, well, he got free time because the kids don't live with him. So a lot of times when I'm dating and the woman finds out I have my kids as often as I do, like no lie, I don't say they didn't believe me, but I've gotten phone calls. Like I tell people, like when I'm with my kids, I'm not talking on the phone. Like I like phone boning with you, and my kids want to go to the park or I'm doing something. No, get the fuck out of here. Even if I'm in the house, I'd rather chill with my kids or take a rest. I don't want to talk to you on the phone like that. So my whole thing was like, I would have women call and kind of like test it out to see if my kids was really with me. And they hear him wilding in the background. They're like, oh, all right, we good. And I was like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck part of the game was that? Because a lot of men are either every other weekend dads or I see them when I see them dads. Not to say all men are like that. I actually think the vast majority of black men are not like that. But there are enough of the population that is becoming a thing. So do you think men and women, and this is for everybody in the audience as well, do you think men and women have a different criteria when it comes to having multiple kids with multiple people and like how that affects relationships? Is there like an obvious double standard?
I think there's a double standard. I don't think it's obvious. I do think it's circumstantial because I feel like how you show up in them kids' lives matters. It's a huge, huge factor. I feel like the double standard it comes up in that men aren't automatically used up and washed because of it. Because your kids didn't come out of your body. So that's the double standard that somehow we're not good no more, we're used up, things don't function because because we push our children out of our vaginas. Most of the time, sometimes, not even most of the time anymore.
There's a lot of unnecessary C-sections happening in the black community. We can have that conversation.
Yes, we're targeted for it and it is unnecessary and they are highly complicated surgeries that kill us. So yeah, let your body do what your body's supposed to do.
Right.
Don't listen to these fucking doctors. Anyway, so there is a double standard. As far as like relationships, I think having multiple kids affects relationships on both ends, whether you're the mother or the father. I think it matters more on where the kids live, because obviously if the kids don't live with you, you have more time.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
That's why
it's the invisible labor of having children in the house with you.
I was gonna say subconscious, but the same thing. I was literally gonna say it's a subconscious perspective that people have, which is the same thing as what you said, the invisible labor. I like that one. No, they both good.
I mean, if all the kids are in one spot, then certain things are easier. They all go to school together. They all have the same things, you know, work together. But having kids in multiple houses complicates things. Holidays, birthday parties, don't let your other parent, co-parents beef. That's the thing. That's where things get. I don't think it's necessarily a red flag off the bat, but one, how you show up for your kids. Like, do you have more kids than you are capable of supporting? That is a red flag because now you're not even working in your best interest. Well, you're not working in your best interest financially to continue to create kids. How long ago was your last child? Do you have healthy relationships with the mothers of your children or fathers of your children? I think that's a huge, huge factor. Nobody wants to walk into that drama, and that's when I think it becomes baggage. When there's beef off the bat, right? So there's that. And like how you, like I said, how you manage it. And the fact is, the more kids you have, the less each of them get from you, even if they lived with you. Even as a unit, as a married unit, the more children you have, the less they get from you. It's just I'm kid number fucking 10. I know that. Like they talk about middle kid syndrome for a reason because they get
Being 5
you
out
know.
of 9, that's crazy. 5 out of 9, that's crazy. So the next thing was, how do you identify a red flag? Because like you said, inherently, a person that has multiple children with multiple people doesn't necessarily mean that that's a red flag because it's so circumstantial. However, there still might be red flags. I'm gonna write down some of what I thought. So there's something I want to say at the end that's gonna be pretty funny. The type of parenting that person has, right? And of course we're not talking about parenting, although I feel like that was a conversation that we had. I don't know when, but I feel like we did an episode on that where we were talking about like, can you date a bad parent? So automatically, I don't care how many kids you got one, you got cheaper by the dozen. If you're a bad parent, I can't fuck with you just off the rip.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. So parenting is a flag, right? Because I do know women, or I know men who had kids and never really wanted to be with the mom, or they don't take care of the kid, or one of them they leave the kid with the grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Those type of people, you want to look out for them. Got a story. One of my ex-girlfriends, she got with a guy, and he was going through shit with his 2 baby mamas. She ain't think nothing of it. She tried to hold him down. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do it together. She had a baby with the nigga, and everything nigga played out happened to her. And
Yeah, it's
like,
absolutely.
it was like whole boyfriend and girlfriend. And when like I think he was living with her and all that, when she got pregnant, he was like, "Congratulations, that shit ain't got nothing to do with me." What? Imagine your boyfriend saying that to you. That's wild. That's wild. But anyway, that happened. So guess what? She told me when her son was younger, like, "Yo, I fucked up. Like, the flags was right there, and I didn't see it. I shouldn't have had no baby with this nigga. I shouldn't have." You know what I'm saying? Based on how he treated his other kids' mothers and how he treated his kids.
Yeah.
Same thing is happening now. She feels like she's at fault for that. Um, I can't hear you. Say that again.
I said part of the responsibility is hers.
Absolutely. What I also said was how he or she interacts with their kid's mother. Is it too nice or is it horrible? So, like, when I tell people about my second oldest moms, I have to tell women, like, I have to preface this with, I'm not exaggerating with what I'm saying. She's legit a bad person. This is not some vindictive, like, my oldest daughter's mom, we don't hate each other. We may not get along because she got some shit going on in her life. But at the end of the day, we don't hate each other. We can still talk and have conversations and yada, yada, blah, 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 if need be. My youngest 2 kids' mom, we co-parent, like the best co-parenting relationship ever. The one in the middle is the one that she's a lunatic. I don't know what else to tell you. Man, listen, I never talked to you. I told you I got mad stories, right? Bruh, the story I had like 2 weeks ago, it drained me so much. I had to leave and get a mutual friend to have a conversation with me on the phone. Like, I know I'm not bugging. What's going on here? You know what I'm saying? So I have to preface that because I don't want people to think I'm some bitter baby daddy. Yada, da, da. No. That's not it. But she's a bad person, so I might experience some things that might be contrary to my excellence because she's trying to bring me down, right? And with that being said, like, I feel like if they're too nice with their kids' mom, like, you got to be secure enough in yourself and give them ways to be like, yo, just be honest with me. But if the relationship is too negative, yo, it might be the person you with. It might not be the baby daddy. It might not be the baby mama. It might be the nigga you with. And you got to take that into consideration. Also, are the kids bad?
Ooh.
We talk about bad parenting.
So badass
bad.
kids.
Yo, I'm not dating somebody who got badass kids. I'm not doing it. I don't care who the kid's from.
Hmm.
None of that. Now, if you got 3 kids, 3 baby daddies, like my mother do, we none of us got the same daddy, and she just like we just wilding, something's missing there. Like whenever I date a woman who has kids, I always say, "Yo, what's the relationship with the kids and their dad?" I always ask that question because I know now by how that question is answered, I know it's going to reveal a lot of dynamics in her life and even how her perspective on some things. Like when I was with my ex, I never forget. She was spazzing on her baby father. He did some dickhead shit, but then she was like, "I'm not letting you see your kid." I put the phone on mute real quick. I said, "Listen, I know that ain't my son and that ain't my baby daddy, but man to man, don't tell a nigga he can't see his kid for some stupid shit like that. Not like that. You just mad at him. You
Yeah,
know, he's not doing nothing to your kid. You let him see his kid. Never not let your father see his kid. Unless you feel like your kid is in danger, don't do it because you mad at the nigga. That's
yeah,
bad parenting. And to this day, she'll tell me some shit, but at the end of the day, she let him see his kid, whether the kid is with the grandmother or not.
yeah.
Let him do that. The kid is gonna see what it is. My dad told me that a long time ago. My oldest daughter, you ain't gotta tell her nothing about what's happening. She gonna see when she's old enough. And I did that with my other daughter, and I said to the point where I started putting some of our phone calls on speakerphone, so she know what I gotta go through. This is your mama. This is how she talked to me, and I don't agree that no woman's supposed to talk to a man like this, and that's why I'm not cursing her ass out because I don't believe no man should talk to a woman like this neither. All right, the other thing is it's a red flag for some people. What if she asks for a doggy bag when you go out to eat? Like, nah, I need to feed my kids too. I need you to. I'm going to order these kids meal for when I get home, so my kids can eat. And then I wrote down, is paying for daycare or child care a bad thing? And I was just like, it's not. I've offered. I've done a couple of times.
I think I've had somebody offer to pay for
Yeah, like
childcare.
if you need a sitter, I got you. Like however much your sitter costs. I
Problem is,
need.
I ain't have a babysitter because I don't trust people. But anyway,
Yeah, but the doggy bag part was funny because I felt like, damn, like, so when you left the house, you didn't think you didn't have enough food in the fridge, like, or you just milking me for extra meal, like, what we doing?
yeah, I think the doggy bag is a little weird. And I think it's a weird way to do it. Like most of the time, if you're really seeing somebody or something like that, I don't see. I don't like this subject because I don't like asking people for stuff. It makes my skin crawl. Um, I'd be highly uncomfortable. I plan to feed my child whether I went on a date with you or not.
Bro, it's crazy that it would be something opposite.
In
So, what
fact,
would you
we
think
have
are some
we
red
have
flags?
food. We have food for several weeks.
Yes. What do you think are some red flags when if you see somebody who has, multiple kids, multiple people? Like you said, it's not inherently a red flag that that's a thing, but what do you look for? What do you see? What would be a red flag? And that's
And this is this if they spend it all their time with me and I don't ever hear about them with their kids or see them with their kids, but they got all the time in the world for me, I'd be like, I'm gonna start asking questions.
I've been there
Cause
before. Every time I'm on Facebook or Instagram or something, you outside like out on the Tuesday. You not helping your kids with their homework. They help me. What's going on here?
or you just leave your kids anywhere. Your
Oh,
kids is who your kids with. Oh, I dropped them off at my at their cousin house.
right,
It's not really their cousin. It's just somebody who got other kids and don't mind your kid being there.
right.
Yeah, it's just nah, can't do it. Where your kids? Where are they at? Why are they not with somebody who trusts them? Do you know if they ate? Like, uh, If they don't talk about their kids, that's a red flag. I know some people be on the date talking about, oh, I'm trying to get to know you, but they don't ever, I would think your children would be a significant part of your life and a major influence, and so they'd work their way in there some way.
Did I tell you I went on some dates and I brought I brought this person up on the show before, and I told you she was in my inbox like I knew you was talking about me. I'm like I don't even know you was on my social media to be real with you. But anyway, anyway she was wild controlling, and she used to tell me I don't want to talk about kids when we go out, and I said you don't have to talk about your kids. I'm talking about mine. You can talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about. But if that happened, and like I brought up my daughter, oh nah, me and my daughter, blah blah blah, we did that before. She's like, I told you I don't want to talk about kids while we're out. And I was like, what? Okay, that's fine.
Yo,
So anyway,
somebody asked for a picture of me
my
the
daughter
other day.
did that thing and blah 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 blah. Like that shit was weird to me. That was
Someone asked for a picture of me the other day, and I dead ass couldn't find one without my daughter in it. Like, I gotta go into the cloud to find a picture that I'm dressed up going to do something, and it's my daughter ain't in the picture with me.
Somebody asked, how soon is it too soon to introduce her or him or her to your kids? I have been in situations where people have introduced me to their kids very soon. And so, like when the woman said with the discernment, I thought that was a part of the discernment. Like, oh, it was that easy for me to meet your kids? Like, you don't know what type of nigga I am. And I got 3 daughters, fam. I'm not introducing anybody to my kids. I'm not doing it. Like, my friends don't even see my children that much unless we, like, out. And, like, private, like real shit, like, if we up, nah. My kids
Yeah.
not. Well, my kids
I
at
don't have
home
a
with
time
me,
limit
have
because
company like
it could
that.
be forever.
Right. That's crazy. But it's the truth.
Maybe if I become like we're committed for a while to the point where you might come over to my house because that's her space.
Whoa. Hold on. Can you please show your hoodie? And I feel like we've talked about this hoodie.
Oh, the
Bruh.
shirt?
Bruh.
We're talking about not making kids.
The shirt, the
We're talking
face club
about not
is
making kids.
crazy. And we talk about baby mamas and baby daddies.
That makes sense.
Can't get pregnant that way, right?
Nope, you don't get pregnant
Shirt
that
though.
way.
Especially with the thick joint on the fucking on the cover. You gotta have realistic expectations. Oh, speaking of expectations, how do you manage expectations? Right? Because I feel like, yo, it's you're dating a woman, right? You're dating this woman. She has 2 baby daddies. Now you in the life. How do you manage that? You get with a guy. He got 3 baby mamas. How do you deal with that? I feel like there's a level of expectations that you have to put things in some type of framework. You
I
have to
agree.
he has listen, he's gonna have, let's say me. I got 3 baby mamas, I got 3 daughters, right? Although I have a son too. I have 3 daughters, 3 baby mamas, my own mama. I got sisters. Like you're not the only woman in my life. At all.
Yeah.
Some women they want to be the only one in their life.
Somebody said something the other day and was like, I can have you all to yourself. And I was like, that's not realistic.
It's impossible.
That's not I said it's probably never gonna be that way.
Impossible.
This way, how?
Impossible. So how do you manage those expectations?
I mean, there has to be a lot of conversation. I was about to say I ain't never dealt with somebody who had mad baby daddies. I mean mamas, but that's not true. And that shit was a mess. And they all hated me. So there's that. But that's his fault.
Yes, it is his fault.
That was his fault. He didn't move in a way that would ever give them a space where they could have been cordial with me. Because he's a liar. So
That
Just
part.
fucked it up from the beginning. It is what it is.
That's okay.
Um, but yeah, you do have to manage your expectations. I think, and this is where it's not necessarily a red flag, but it's up to you and your preferences and what you can deal with. You might need more time and energy than this person might have. Might want somebody to spend a lot more money than this person may have. You um and it's just your personal preference to what you can deal with and what you can't. And it's kind of why I like dating fathers. Um because they'll have realistic expectations of me if they're actually involved in their kids' lives. Like,
Mm,
no, we're not gonna see each other every day.
yeah,
You're gonna have parent stuff to do, and I'm gonna have parent stuff to
yeah.
do, and we gotta work, and we have to pay bills, and we were already financially independent, and like,
Yo, I'm not gonna hold you. I it's hard to date a woman with no children. Who doesn't?
yes, it's
Who's not
hard to date a man with no
a
children too.
nurse or some shit? Like she has to be like she has to have a very demanding job. If she just works to come home at 5:30 every day, you got too much time in your hands. It's not gonna be.
Yep.
It's not
I
gonna
was
work.
just about to say that he would have to have a very demanding job. He would have to have something to keep him busy. I
It's
do
not gonna
not
work.
want somebody,
You gonna
especially
want
with
time.
my demanding job, and then having a child. I don't want somebody waiting around for me.
You know what else about that too?
Hmm.
I like to spend time with my kids. I actually enjoy it.
Oh, and
If
if our
I-
kids could get along and we could have fun together, that'd be great. That's a
right,
great way to sneak you into the picture.
right. That's a fact. But I'm also thinking like I like to spend time with my kids.
Yeah, me too.
Just me and my
We at the
kids.
hip, yo. Like,
So at the end of the day, guess what that means? That's time that you can't spend with me. Oh, I can bring the kids over because you got kids. Not this weekend. I don't want that. That's not what I'm looking for. So speaking of that, I did ask, is the Brady Bunch method worth it? Blended families, right? And I said blended families can work. There are steps to it, like getting the kids' approval. Kids must like the other kids and the partner, depending on the age. If your kid is 3, I don't give a fuck what your kid think. But the ability to have more kids ready made, it could be a positive. If I got 3 kids and you got 3 kids, do we want a 7th? It's a fucking lot. So I always think about it from those perspectives. I think about it from the perspective of, yo, like, how do we reconcile that if we are to get together? Like, I had a blended family once. I had 2 kids at the time. She had 1. We had 3, and we wanted kids with each other. It didn't work out that way, but that's what we wanted. Um, Now if I'm gonna get a relationship, it's like if you got 2 kids and I got my 4, now we got 6 together. And I also feel like I'm 40. My youngest kid, she's only 4, but I can't wait till she leaves the house already. I'm counting down the days. Like, yo, when she's a teenager, I'm out of here, fam. If you got kids that are like grade school age as well, I might. All right, I'm talking about like my son is in 2nd grade. I'm talking about like 2nd, 3rd grade. I don't know.
it's tough.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it like, all right, we both got to do this shit. Nah. I want your kids to be old enough that you can come over to my crib at night and go back home, and you ain't got to worry about them burning down the house or somebody call the ACS on your ass. Because I know I'm at a stage where if a woman does have kids, and what's funny, a lot of women I know had kids pretty late, so they in their 40s with 7th graders. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And like my older 2 kids, like one of my kids is gonna be graduating high school in 4.5 years. Bruh. I'm only gonna be 43, 44. Get them out of here. That's two gone.
You know they still need parents, right?
I mean out the house. It's less responsibility when you're out of the house. And why not only that, when your kids get older, like, KK, she 13 now. Like, I ain't gotta iron her clothes and cook for her all the time. Like, she can figure some of that shit out herself. The little two, nah, nigga, I'm doing 100. I'm doing 360-degree parenting. Like, your parenting dwindles down from 360 to like 45 degrees as you get older. If you're always gonna be a parent, and you know what I mean. But my daughter, I'm 20 years older than that, so. When I'm 60 and she's 40, how much different is it going to really be? I'ma still know some more than how I'm going through things she didn't. How much of a parent am I going to be when she's 60? I mean, when I'm 40 and she's 60. Oh shit! What if she is 60? I'm 80. We the same age now.
I
My
can't with
it's
you.
hurt a little bit more. That's it.
Jamal said Davini's counting down too. I'm still open to having children. I know.
Everybody open. So they gotta wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Um, I know I'd complain for the first like 6 years.
Say that again.
I said I know I'd complain for the first 6 years, but I would have another kid.
First 6 years is crazy.
Yeah, so Brady Bunch, first of all, being a step anything is hard.
I agree.
I have experience with that. And it takes a lot of effort and a lot of communication and a lot of biting your tongue. And if y'all on the same accord, y'all got teamwork, it's dope. But when it's hard, it's hard. And I've had it dope and I've had it hard. So I think the Brady Bunch is great. I feel like yeah, your kids might not get along, but I have blood siblings I don't get along with, so there's that.
That's a fact.
It's a part of having siblings. I try to explain that to my very single child daughter that that's what siblings do. They help you learn how to navigate conflict. um, I didn't. It's about the teamwork. So if y'all ain't getting along, y'all don't live with each other. I don't see how it's gonna work when y'all bring y'all kids into the mix.
No, I agree. I feel like the teamwork part is important, but you also have to have a plan. Like you have to be like when I was with my ex and we had a blended family or whatever. We were for all the flaws in the relationship. It's still like it was a model relationship. We had plans. It wasn't like, oh, we're just gonna do this. It was like, oh no, you got the kids all the time. Oh, I got something to say behind that. So it was like you got the kids all the time, like we could put them in this school. Them two could go to school together here, or this one could do this, and blah 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 blah. And we had a plan. Like it wasn't like just we were gonna wing it. Like nah, this was something that we actually had intention with, and that intention like really really was gonna help. So now, how about this as a caveat? When I got with my ex, my two oldest daughters, their moms started wilding. That was the beginning. I mean, no, my second oldest daughter, mom, she's been a bitch since she was pregnant with her, and so I'm never gonna get into that. But when we were like engaged and stuff like that, they hated on the relationship really bad, and it wasn't just one baby mama, it was two.
Yeah.
And I always tried to protect my relationship from that. And I mean hating y'all. I'm talking about I had all the protections on me. All of a sudden I'm in court for child support. Like it just went crazy. And mind you, my kids lived with me for years. And then all of a sudden this happened because I was happy in another relationship. And I never forget. I remember my oldest daughter's mom on the phone crying, telling me, "You got your own family now. You don't need my daughter." That's what she said to me. And I'm like, "Bitch, you lost custody. Shut up. Who cares?" But this is real shit.
Yeah.
And when I was with my ex, yo, her baby daddy was on point all the time. We broke up, can't find that nigga. He was only on point because I was a better dad than him, and he couldn't be shown up, brother. I don't know how to transpose that, but You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we also have to take into account with this Brady Bunch thing, and you got multiple baby mamas, multiple baby daddies. That's a lot of other personalities you got to manage. So you don't, let's say you got 2 kids, 2 baby daddies. I got 3 kids, 2 baby mamas. That's 4 different people outside of a relationship who could have a very big impact on that relationship.
Also, you try to, as well as you might try to plan and structure your household, those kids are going to be flipping between different houses with different households with different voices in their ears and different parenting methods. And that was something I definitely saw at play in my relationship, where it was like, coming over to our house, we had the chores list up on the board, and we had dinner and ate it in front of, at the table every night without the TV on. And afterwards, you did this and you did this, and this one did the floor, and this one did loaded the dishwasher, and this one emptied the dishwasher, and we all worked together. And and then you go home and go to someone else's house, and you walk in the door, throw your socks on the floor, and, you know, y'all every night. And aren't healthy or don't go on walks and watch TV all day or be on the iPad. And
Yeah.
it was a lot. It was a lot to manage.
I got one more for you. You move the new kid, like you get the blended family, and this is why I say you got to be on the same page and have attention, because value systems may have to change, may have to adjust, because you might have to deal with something in this kid that's not your kid biologically that you wouldn't have to deal with your kids or whatever the case may be. And that's something that we don't talk about. Also, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You can love that kid as much as you want. And if you got your own kids, you're going to know the difference. You don't love that kid like you love your own kid. You can love them like it, but the feeling is not the same. That you could do the same things action-wise. The feeling is not the same.
I feel like the feeling's not the same because it's not automatic. The kid that's born to you is gonna love you even when you're a piece of shit. Um, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where people like, oh my God, it's not the same. Well, because you gotta
Nah,
not just from, like, kids are wired to worship you like God until you're not God anymore.
no, I agree with what you said, but I also feel like there's something innate about it. Like, you got 2 hands, but you're going to save 1 kid. What you doing? Who kid you saving? Yours or the other nigga kid? You understand what I'm saying? Like, your innate ability is like, oh, I couldn't save my daughter, so we're gonna raise your kid now. Like, nah, that shit is wild. And I remember going through all the adversity I went through as a parent that same year with my ex, and this put a big strain in our relationship. And I remember telling her, listen, I'm gonna be okay, and I'm gonna do what it is that I gotta do. I'm just gonna step up, but I ain't gonna hold you, shorty. Being with your kid every day when the times where I want to be with my kids is going to make me feel some type of way. I'm not taking nothing away from your son, but I'm going to be hurt. I'm going to be sad because my
Yeah,
baby here with me. It's going to be different.
yeah.
Now, if that was our son and I come be with the other 2 kids, I would be sad, but I would probably have been a little bit more content. I don't think I would have been as hurt.
I also feel like, as far as like the loving the other child as your own, a lot of times we're not allowed to love the child as our own. There's boundaries on how discipline and rules and stuff like that is melted out, dealt out. And also you have to take into consideration that this person may or may not have another parent in your role, and what your role is going to be. Are you going to just support the other mother? Are you like, you hear about this a lot, like the guy is like, no, the kid got to follow all my rules because it's my house, I'm paying the bills, I'm feeding it, you know what I mean? And kind of like force their way in that way.
I agree
um
with that to a certain extent. Like, I had a conversation with, um, I guess my stepson at the time, his dad, and I was just like, listen, here are the rules of my house. Your son doesn't have to follow these rules. This is not my kid. But when shit is going crazy, you got to come get him. If I can't go upside his head like I'm gonna go upside my daughter's head, you gotta come get him. Because if they did the same dumb shit and she gotta get spanked for it, then he gotta get spanked for it. If you don't want me doing the spanking, then you do the spanking, or you punish him. You have to reprimand him. You his dad, because
Yeah.
he. And I said, you tell me what you want to do with this situation. You're the dad. I'm not about to tell you what I'm going to do to your kid. I need you to tell me what you feel comfortable with. And we came to an agreement. I'm with this. I'm not with that. You can do that. Let me know if this happens. I got you every time.
Yeah.
And there was a time where I had to call a nigga one time like, yo, man, he wilding. You got to come. We all three of us need to be on the same page. We got to talk. And that was the communication we had. Nigga came to my crib too. I'm like, yo, bro, like, this is the woman I want to be my wife. This is her son's father. He need to be involved. To the point where I had to tell a nigga like, yo, bro, you gotta start giving this nigga haircuts, bro. He called me to the barbershop. That ain't my kid. Like, that ain't my son. That time is supposed to be with his dad. I do everything else with this little nigga. Have this time with him, bro. And guess what? He started taking him to get haircuts. I feel like conversations like that have to happen.
Mm.
You have to be on the same page. If I'm with a woman, I don't want, like, all right, I got 3 kids. Yo, on some real shit, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, 23, the majority of 2023, my baby mom's got my daughter hair done 2 times.
Yeah.
2 times. Maybe a 3rd time that she paid for. Every other time my daughter got her hair done was on me. Whether I'm just paying for it or I got to get my mom or somebody else to take her to get her hair done. That's your job. All right, if you need me to pay for it, that's fine. You're the woman. You're supposed to be there to make sure your daughter's hair is done. That's supposed to be your quality time. That's supposed to be you teaching her about how to maintain. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's certain there's certain things I don't want to do with my mom. I want to do with my dad. Why are you making it weird, bro? You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird. So I feel like, but those are conversations that have to be had, because sometimes the other nigga just don't. He ain't shit. He ain't doing it. So you gotta step up to the plate.
I worked my way onto the emergency contact list.
That's
But
good.
even with that wasn't a conversation. I was told. No. I was asked, but he had to make sure it wasn't abused. Like, I could do pickups.
Oh, okay.
You know, elementary school, everyone has to be cleared, has to be on a case of emergency, and I happen to be off at home. I could go pick up his child. But just because I was available doesn't mean that mom was off the hook, kind of thing. So even in that, he was like, I have to keep an eye on that. That's what he was like. Like, you can't just assume that I would.
Right, because she has the
Or you
ability.
can't just plan for me to be available.
Right. All right. So the last but not least, so I can get the hell off here and go to sleep. I'm tired of this motherfucker. I got this video that Davinia gave that I want to play really quick, so I'm gonna share it. So that, because at the end of the day, if somebody got 6 kids, 3 baby daddies, that don't mean they don't need no love. 4 kids, 4 baby mamas, that don't mean he don't need no love. And I feel like, we start to ostracize people for their life choices. There might be something to it, but I also feel like at the end of the day, people still need love. So let's talk about it real quick.
I had my daughter at 16, went on to Howard University,
Crazy.
and got pregnant again. Got pregnant again with my second daughter, and I was 19, and dropped out of college. At that point, felt like life was over.
Hold on, though. She was in college at 16. That was the flex.
No, she wasn't
Also,
at 16. She got pregnant at 16 and still
nah,
got
she said
accepted
she
to
was in
Howard.
Howard. Hold on, let's
No. She was in Howard at 19.
Hold on, I'm gonna repeat what she said just now.
Got pregnant again with my second daughter, and I was
Hold on.
Howard University. I had my first daughter at 16. So I was a teenage mom. I had my daughter at 16, went on to Howard University and got pregnant again.
She
Oh,
went to
Pregnant again
Howard
with my
University
second
and she got
daughter,
congratulations.
and
pregnant
I
again.
was 19
And
and
she was
dropped
19.
out of college. At that point, felt like life was over. Um, Made a lot of poor decisions, had a lot of the wrong people around me. And one baby led to two, to three, to four, to five, to
God
six.
damn.
How does that happen? I don't understand it.
Yo,
How
I was
does
about
that
to say the
happen
same
to where you
shit.
say, okay, well, listen, I thought that life was over and, everything was going bad and, things that wasn't what it was supposed to be. And I was out of control and I wasn't taking care of business and so on and so forth. But then I have another kid and then another kid and then another kid and then another kid. Now, I don't understand that. Listen, I'm guessing that she a doctor and apparently she says that she found love or something like that. And shout out to Smitty and D. I always like to link back to whoever it is, original content creator, back into the description. So I'm definitely gonna pin that in the description for y'all to be able to tap in and see and subscribe to their channel yourselves. But how does that happen to where somebody just keep making the same?
Welcome to Iron
Keep
Beam,
making
the
babies.
future of futures trading.
That's crazy. To keep making babies part is crazy. So hold on, let me skip that part real quick and get back to sharing this video. It's fucking YouTube and their damn commercials. That was a killer. All right, let's get back to it.
And so,
And then dudes still be shooting up the club. Never, bro. Never under any
So I ain't gonna hold you.
That's the thing. Like
ever,
clearly she's
ever
fertile.
would I ever see myself being with a
Yo,
woman that
can I
has
keep it
small
100
children.
with you?
That sounds
What?
Pause for a
that's
moment.
insane.
So let's pause this real quick. Hold on, I gotta put my camera back on.
Oh
So
no, I know what
I have a fetish for
you're
women
going
that have like 5 or 6 kids or more. Because if a woman has like 5 or 6 kids and she has more than one baby daddy, her shit slaps. And I'm gonna tell you, my nigga. I'm gonna keep it real with
Play the
you.
video.
I ain't never met a woman with over 5 kids and more than one baby daddy out of them 5 kids. And her shit was like less than the A+. I never. Shit. I'm gonna shut up. I'm being a hoe.
Okay.
And shout out to whoever this gentleman is that decided that he wanted to take the chance to take a risk. It couldn't be me. And under no
There's
circumstance
something wrong with
would I
you.
ever advise any guy to do this. I'm just reacting to the content. I'm just observing it. She decided that she wanted to tell her story. And so I'm hearing it, but this is wild to me.
mm-hmm,
So, statistically speaking,
yeah,
this is not supposed to happen.
right.
You had all these kids and you still got married.
Crazy.
Yes, still found love, or love found me,
You
should I
still
say.
found. I want to go back for a second. You said that you were 16, you had a kid, and then you went to Howard.
Mhm.
Did you bring the kid with you or did the kid stay home?
The kids stayed home. So my
Okay.
daughter stayed home with my mom.
Okay.
My mother took care of her.
Right.
She was going to take care of my second child. And I said, no, this is the bed that I lied in, literally.
Is that accountability? I
Yes.
smell accountability on a woman, a black
Yes.
woman.
Yes.
She should have stayed in Howard.
It's cap. I disagree. I don't smell accountability at all. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute.
What does the world
Yes.
come to?
Yes.
Yeah. So to the second kid, Howard, and
Yes. And then I had my third child,
then.
and then my fourth child. And like I
Because she was still having children. It's not a. This story sounds good right now. Let me just see some more. I'm reacting to this for the first time. I have not seen any of this before. Y'all said
Your head.
it goes back to my childhood, of not having my father in my life. And so now I know it was looking for love in all the wrong places. You know, I was looking, I was searching for what I didn't have, which was that
Did she say
love
baby daddy
from a
she got?
man, beginning with a girl and her father. I didn't have that. So I know now as an adult, as a woman, that's what I was looking for, but I wasn't getting it. So you think that these men love you and they don't. And I wouldn't even say men because, like I said, they're boys. They were boys. You know, I was a girl. They were boys.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
These men get such a bad rep,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they
But
do.
we choose them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they say that women are more mature, right?
Right.
But we
Right.
chose that boy, and
Right.
you knew he was a boy.
Right. Yes. All the signs were there. The red flags were there. You know,
Can you walk us through some of them? Some of those red flags?
giving you an STD.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ, Lord.
Did she
Yeah.
say STD?
No
Yes,
way,
did.
no how.
He said STD. Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That's a red flag. And then he got you
Yeah.
pregnant.
Okay.
When you're 16 years old,
Yeah.
you don't know what's going on.
Wow.
And you go to the health department to find out that you have a sexually transmitted disease. What does that tell you?
When you're 85 years old on your deathbed, you're
Right.
not going to wish you had
I'm
fewer
glad we
crazy
got that.
stories. So let me introduce you
Jesus
to
Christ.
the school.
He's out here in these streets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But you are so blinded by what you think is love. You want to raise this boy to be a man, and you can't do that. You can't do that. So by the time you have children, now you just want the family, right? You want the family that you dream of that you didn't have. And so you stay and you stay and you stay. And before you know it, you look up, you got 6 kids with 3 different men. So again, it goes back to poor choices.
Poor choices. Let's talk about some of these women.
All right, so hold on. I ain't gonna hold you. I thought it was gonna be worse than that. She got an average 2 per. That's not bad. That's not a bad average.
She got 2 kids per
Yeah,
baby.
that's not a bad average.
What do you think that they're gonna do?
You know, and then just getting to a place where we're not so big on just judging one another, but really helping and supporting. So I'll give an example. When I had my children, my family would talk about me, right? Oh, here's Ebony with all these kids. She's having more children and blah, blah, blah. But why not just help? Why not help?
Because it doesn't change the behavior. Which
I thought this video was gonna be. I can't watch it. I thought this video was gonna be more about the love that she found and the guy who married her after that, which I would have been interested to hear more about that. I don't give a fuck about that woman having all them damn kids. What do you mean just help? Help who? Help yourself. Strap up. Get a hysterectomy. Listen, be fruitful and multiply. You got 6 kids. They probably beautiful. They're gonna hold you down. I'm not helping you. I'm not helping you. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. But with that being said, though, I feel like people do need love. I don't feel
She
like
found somebody to love her, and that's what's
I
important.
don't feel like she was any because she had that many children. I don't feel like that way at all. I was talking about not helping her like as a family member. Like if you my cousin, nigga, you got all them damn kids. That's on you, shorty. You gotta figure this shit the fuck out. But as like somebody like you might fall like yo, the reason why a lot of women single because the man of their dreams is motherfucking got 3 baby mamas, and they're like, I can't be the 4th. Nobody told you to be. Just love him. A lot of people fall in
I
love.
also think people can be in relationships without creating children.
I was just about to say that. A lot of people fall in love.
You don't have to get pregnant with every single
and
relationship.
the kids is done. It's like, yo, you're not committed to my kids. You're only committed to me. So I believe everybody deserves love.
I feel like where she had 6 kids and then he had 2 kids. I think the Brady Bunch effect works really well. And then they had 2 more kids, so she ended up with 10 kids. Yeah, because you could just what's 1 or 2 more? Like I mean, you got that many. You're already cooking for 8.
Yep.
You're already cooking for 8. We're and packing lunches for 8. We could throw 2 more peanut butter jelly sandwiches
One
in the
more
bag.
sandwich don't kill nobody. One more sandwich. Just one more sandwich ain't gonna hurt nobody.
There's enough love to go around.
Enough love. Yep. Any other anything else you want to add to this topic?
I mean, I feel like we never talked about really why. She spoke about she being unhealed, coming from a broken place.
Yeah.
I think that's important too. Like when I looked up most of the reasons why people end up having children by multiple partners, one of the reasons was having children young, or even being married young, which was my case. Because the divorce rates are so high and their relationships aren't lasting. So if you have children young, most likely is that relationship won't last forever. And you might end up in another situation. Other reasons were jail, someone getting incarcerated, and then you move on after someone gets incarcerated or passes away, or there's a whole bunch of reasons. That can influence whether or not you have multiple children with multiple people. But I do think the manner in which these births happen matter. I'm like, while I'm watching the video, I'm like, she should have stayed in college. Someone offered to help her stay in college.
Right.
Then she would have been better off. I believe, even if she kept having kids, she still
Yeah,
would have been
probably
better
could've
off.
found a better person for her too. Probably.
So what?
She probably could have found a better person for her as well.
Exactly, because she did say part of the problem was that she was around the wrong people. She would have had access to higher quality, hopefully, because a piece of paper doesn't mean you're a better person. But
it is a different demographic.
it is a different demographic and a different earning potential for yourself and your future partners in job opportunities and such whatnot. But like, to just understand that she was unhealed, and all right, well, you are unhealed. Have you done anything about it? I'm glad she found somebody to love her, but did she get therapy? How much of her trauma has she passed down to the kids that are already here? Like, she, like you said, she had 2 kids per baby daddy. Did you ever want to be married? Did you just not know what it took? Were you just accepting too much because you wanted, love from a male figure so much that you just passed on red flags? Did you not think marriage was important, because you didn't come from it? Like, these things, I think, are all part of the conversation.
Yeah.
When do you stop having kids because it's now a detriment to what you want for your life? And I find that as moms, we put a lot of what we want on the back burner once we start having kids. That shit goes on pause until they leave the house.
You heard what I said?
No.
It can also be a detriment to your health at some point.
Depending.
And let's say you do have 6 kids and you meet a nigga with no kids or 1 kid. You might not want to give that nigga a kid.
Yeah. That's what I'm seeing, is that there's like eligible bachelors who want to have kids, but the women already have kids and like, I don't want to work.
Right.
And that could go both ways, where the women's like, man, he has too many kids. I want to have.
I know a chick that married a guy. He already had like 4 or 5 kids, and she married him. And she told the girl I was dating at the time. She was like, "I'm going to marry him, and I'm going to have his baby." She married that nigga and had his baby. They still married to this day. Ain't got that baby. I don't know how she did it, but she did it.
As far as health wise, depending on, like I said, I'm number 10. My mom is good. And even having children into your 40s tends to make you live longer. Probably because you have to be there to show up for the kids you've made.
That's why my grandma was 100 and something.
Yep.
That all makes sense. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have to go to sleep. I'm tired. It's been real. It's been a pleasure. This is a good conversation, and I can't wait to see you guys again next Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
I'm about to look up my pillow and hit him with Usher. All right. This is a real conversation. I love it. We love you guys, and we will be seeing you next Wednesday.
Next week, guys. Bye.
Later.